June at the movies. It wouldn't be June without the summer blockbusters, and it wouldn't be a summer blockbuster without a revamp and retread of computer animated robot vehicles brought to you by Michael Bay. Transformers Rise of the Beast. I wanted to give this film a chance. Michael Bay was finally going to address Beast Wars, and he couldn't treat them any worse than he treated the Dinobots. One would think. Transformers Rise of the Beasts put the Autobots and the Maximals on one screen up against Unicron. Yes, Michael Bay finally addressed not only the Maximals and Predacons, he addressed Unicron. Except he called them the enemies, the Terracons or something. And as with all of Michael Bay's Transformers movies, there were two throwaway human characters, about 4 memorable Autobots, and a memorable Autobot or two, and about 4 throwaway Autobots. Same with the Decepticons, same with the Decepticons. In this case, Unicron and Scourge were the memorable Terracons. They won't even call them the Decepticons. And you have the 2 throwaway bad guys. In the case of the Autobots, of course, Optimus Prime, Bumblebee are back. Mirage shows up, if only to shoehorn Pete Davidson into this project. And I get to see RC again, and the other 2 Autobots are the throwaway Autobots. I think one of them was Wheeljack, except he turns into a Winnebago instead of a futuristic-looking flying hovercraft car, which was awesome in the 1980s. The Maximals are pretty much the same way. Optimus Primal and Air Razor were memorable. In the background, I can clearly see Rhinox and Cheetor, but they didn't do anything. Throwaway. And then just to tie it all together, there is a reference to America's highly trained Special Missions Force. Its purpose to defend human freedom against, apparently, the Decepticons. Snakeface doesn't even get a reference. In the end, Michael Bay wants to bring the Hasbro-verse together. The Hasbro, Marvel, Sunbow-verse, He wanted to bring the Hasbro-verse together. He would have thrown in the Inhumanoids, Gem, Visionaries. But the Marvel, Sunbow, Hasbro-verse, that's G.I. Joe and the Transformers. Let's see, human specialists and transforming vehicles. Can we please just get a Mask movie? Sorry, back to Bayformers Part 8. Wait a second. Who directed Bumblebee? Transformers has always been a touchy issue. It's always a hit or a miss. The hits are the first Transformers and Bumblebee. I can't even remember if Michael Bay was responsible for Bumblebee. And they have some misses. What was the third one called? Dark of the Moon or something? And definitely the one with the Dinobots. Transformers Rise of the Beasts was a mid-carder. Somewhere in between. Kind of like Transformers 2 was, and yeah, Transformers 2 and Transformers Rise of the Beasts. That's fair. Both mid-carders. Got to rate this somehow. And if it's the middle of the pack, I'm giving it 3 popcorn buckets out of 5. I could probably give a more substantial review, but I think I lost about 10 minutes of film in a power nap, so there you go. It's happening more and more often lately. Your local film reviewer keeps going to sleep in the movies. Strangely enough, it started with Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 4. Oh well. Anyway, back to Dark of the Moon. Back to Rise of the Beasts. Kudos to the Transformers film franchise for finally addressing Beast Wars at all, let alone for addressing G.I. Joe. On technicality, I really want Michael Bay to stay away from my childhood. But he can't do anything worse with the G.I. Joe film franchise than has already been done. And as for my childhood, I didn't even watch Transformers growing up. I know enough to know who Bumblebee, Optimus Prime, Wheeljack, Starscream, Megatron, RC, Ironhide, Ratchet. I know enough to know who they all are. Mirage. I know who Mirage is. I was a G.I. Joe kid. Maybe I got this film review wrong. Maybe there's more than meets the eye to this film. Anyway, I'm Ken Sprindley. I rate the movies so that you can make up your own mind.